Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I am the Y2K collector, and I am back after a couple months of summer fun, and it is good to be back. Didn't really have time to do many videos over the summer just because I've just been enjoying the summer. There's been so much going on, so many things happening with the fam and with the, just work and just life, right? But in the midst of it all, I have been continuing to build my game collection, and what a summer it has been. I'm sure that, I've been keeping up with some of my favorite YouTubers, and I've seen, some folks getting some amazing scores. And I've been able to find some really cool stuff, but I think more than anything else, I'm excited for the games and consoles that I was able to add to my library. There's some stuff that I had really wanted, and I was able to get it. So I'm excited to share that with you. Also, got a bunch of filler, right? So got a bunch of filler, and when I say filler, I'm not talking about shovelware, because I think there's a difference between shovelware and filler. There are a lot of amazing quality titles that just aren't rare or expensive, and I found myself getting a bunch of those. So I'm going to start off by going through some of my more common stuff, and then we're going to go ahead and shift into some of the more, higher end items. And then I think I'll end off with the grails that I got this summer, because I did get some really heavy hitters, some uncommon stuff, and so I'm really excited to share that with you. Also, over this summer, I was able to go to my first retro video game convention. Yes, I was so stoked to be able to head out to the Long Island Retro Expo. It was a ton of fun. It was smaller convention, I think. From what other folks told me, I guess Too Many Games is the big boy. That's where everyone is at, and so Long Island Retro Extra was more small. It was definitely more intimate, but there was a lot of really cool stuff. You meet a lot of really cool people there. There are also some unsavory characters that come to these events as well. I think someone tried to steal a game or something, which is just crazy. Why would you pay $50 to get into a convention and then try to steal something, or $25 or however much it was? But anyway, so definitely got to enjoy that. Was really excited about that. And then just some more stuff to share with you. So not gonna do any more jabbering or blabbering, and I'm gonna go through some of these more common games rather quickly here now. So I'm going to start off with something cool, something different. One of the things I picked up this summer was the PlayStation 2 iToy. Yes, I don't know how many of you remember the PlayStation 2 iToy, but this was one of the first cameras. Well, not one of the first cameras, actually. I'm lying. There were plenty of consoles that had cameras, but this was the camera for the PlayStation 2, and there were a few games that worked with this, and I found this at the thrift store for about $3. What am I saying? Because they had the little discount stickers. So $3. I thought that this was an interesting piece of history to add to my collection for $3, so I added that. And then now we're going to rifle through some Game Boy games that I picked up here at a really good price. So we're going to start it off with Super Mario Land for the Game Boy. Very fun game. Next up, we have Bugs Bunny for the Game Boy. Another fun one. Then we have Tetris. Tetris is a classic. We all know about Tetris. Then we had Spider-Man 2. Who can deny old Spidey? Amazing Spider-Man fighting off Carnage there. Then we have Balloon Kid for the Game Boy. So another really cool, kind of rare one. I don't see that one often. And then here's another rare one, Quirk for the Game Boy. This is another really cool Game Boy pickup that I got. Then I also got a second copy of Solar Striker. I already have this, but this was a cleaner version. The back was super clean. Mine has like an old dirty sticker on the back, so I'm going to keep this one and add that to the collection. And then I also added some Game Boy Advanced games. I had Donald Duck Advance. These Disney games are fun, especially the platforming Disney games. These are really fun platformers, so got that. And an even more fun platformer, Mystical Quest. So Disney, what is this? Mickey's Mystical Quest. I think there's like 2 or 3 editions of this game. I think there's Magical Quest 2, and then I think Magical Quest 3 only came out overseas. So, but I think you can still download that or get it somewhere. Then also ran into a pretty cheap copy of Pitfall, $2. Can't be mad at Pitfall for $2. The Mayan Adventure on Sega Genesis. I don't really do a lot of carts, but when I find them that cheap, I usually get them. And that's really the cartridge-based stuff. Now we're going to shift on over into some more of the common titles that I was able to get my hands on. We grab this stack right here. All right, so first up, we got Anarchy Reigns on the PlayStation 3. Now, this was one I actually had ordered online, got this off eBay, but when I got it, the disc looked like a dog had just finished, the case looked like a dog had just finished snacking on it. So I told the seller and wound up getting this for free. So a free PS3 game, pretty cool one. Then we got some PS1 magic here. Who remembers Frogger 2? Right, so found this at the thrift store. Can't beat cheap PS2 games. These are about average of $2 a piece. Then we have Harry Potter on the PlayStation 1. Right, so that's another pretty cool common one. Then we have Namco Museum 3 on the PlayStation 1, and all of these are complete in box. I would say 7.5 to 8 out of 10 condition. Pretty good. And then last but not least, we got SmackDown. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. For those who used to watch SmackDown back in the day. And this is actually funny. This is actually, the case is SmackDown, but then when you open it up, the disc is actually SmackDown 2. So another cool one to add there. Just some common stuff. Some common games, but some pretty decent common games. Now we're going to shift on over to the PlayStation 3 common games. So we have here Marvel Superheroes Lego on the PS3, and all of these games are going to be complete in box as well. So we've got that one. Then got my hands on God of War Collection for the PS3. Just some really solid thrift store finds, right? Next up we have Ninja Gaiden Z Yaiba on the PS3. I love these hack and slash. You guys know I love those, those adventure hack and slash action games. So this was one I added. And then a classic here, Grand Theft Auto 5. I actually picked this up over the summer on the PlayStation 4. On the Xbox maybe, but I wanted it on PS3. Got it here, and I think I sold the other one because it didn't have the manual. Next up we have Infamous on the PlayStation 3. Another fun game, common but fun. And then next up, and sorry, the guys are here cutting my grass, so if you hear that in the background, please bear with me. Then we have here Metal Gear Solid 4 on the PS3, another Konami classic here on the PS3. And then Uncharted, right? So Uncharted, what is this? Drake's Fortune on the PS3. Now, none of these games have I played. I haven't played any of these games. So again, I know they're all common, but they're brand new to me. And these games, from what I've seen and heard, are a ton of fun. Glad that I was able to get all of these on an average of about $4 a piece. Again, these are all like thrift store finds. Next up, Prince of Persia on the PS3. I actually had this on the 360 and sold it as a part of a bundle. That copy that I had, the manual, the front cover rather, had a ton of water damage. So this is a lot cleaner. All of these are really clean. 8 out of 10 condition, of course. And then we've got Ninja Gaiden. Now, this Ninja Gaiden is special because this is one of the games that I got at the Long Island Retro Expo. It was the last day, and I told him, I said, hey, man, this is a common game. Cut me a deal, and he gave it to me for $5. I like Ninja Gaiden, so went ahead and picked that up. But this is one of the ones that I picked up at the LI Retro Expo. And then last but not least, another thrift store pickup. We've got Barbie on the Sega Genesis. Yes. And this is complete in box, folks, with the hang tag. Yes, I'm going to retire off of this game right here. I'm joking. Barbie is a pretty common game. But this was one that I figured I'd get and kind of keep for my daughter. Hopefully we'll be able to play games together when she gets a little older. And this is one that I think she'll enjoy. So I picked it up. Okay, let's go ahead and keep it going. We're still going through a lot of the common stuff. I'm just going to set this pile down here. All right, now we're gonna move on over to some more common stuff, and this is gonna be more of the Xbox 360, PlayStation 2 stuff, and just some more modern stuff. But we're gonna start with the modern stuff. So first off, we've got Killer Black Queen. This was part of GameStop's 4 for 20. Found this in the 4 for 20 bin, and I had seen this game in the past. I like the whole 2D art style, the 2D graphic art style. Love that retro style. So whoa, dropped it. So I had always been tempted to buy this game, just never did. But at $5, it was worth it. So pick that up. Here we have another part of that 4 for 20 from GameStop. This is Monster Hunter World. Never played this. Got it on the Xbox One, mainly for the graphics, and I think this will play pretty good on Xbox, so got it there. Next up, another 4 for 20 pickup. This is Rise of the Tomb Raider on PlayStation 4. Another pickup here. I've always been a fan of Tomb Raider. And then, of course, infamous Second Son. Again, another common game, but just a ton of fun. So this is one that I wanted to add. Then we have, this was at a yard sale. I picked this up actually, and it's rare because I don't really go to a lot of yard sales in my immediate area, but I did go to one, and they had Mafia 3. Gave me a pretty decent price on it, so I went ahead and picked it up. It was complete in box. It has all the little inserts. It has a little map and all that jazz, so I went ahead and picked that up there on PS4. And then another GameStop pickup. This was not part of the 4 for 20, but they did have it here used for $15, and it was practically new. It's the steel case version of Yakuza Like a Dragon, and I also had like a $5 discount, so this was a $10 game. So another really cool pickup there. All right, so then we have some more thrift store pickups. Incredible Hulk, or the Hulk, on PlayStation 2. This is a very common game, but this was super clean. I love finding really clean PlayStation 2 games for some reason. The manual is super clean, the disc is clean, and I'm going to add that to the collection because I don't have it. Then Spider-Man on the PlayStation 2. I already had Spider-Man for the PlayStation 2, but my copy was a little dingy. This is 9 out of 10. I would give this a 9.5 out of 10 condition, super clean. So this one I will be adding to the collection. Again, both complete in box. The manual, super fresh, minty. Look at that crease. Look at that manual, super clean, right? So went ahead and added that there. And then, of course, some greatest hits action, God of War on the PlayStation 2. Again, complete in box, really good condition. We all know what God of War is about. Another thrift store pickup. Mad that this has an ugly sticker on it, but Sims busting out on the GameCube. So I had a little GameCube action this summer. Found this here. Little $4 game. I'm a fan of The Sims. I remember when it came out on PC way back in the day, and I used to play that with my friend a ton. We have another LI Retro Expo pickup here. This is Blue Dragon on the Xbox 360. This is another game that I have had my eye on for a while. I just didn't see any prices like on Mercari or eBay that I was a fan of. And I know this isn't a super expensive game, but luckily enough, I was at the Long Island Retro Expo. I was at a booth and someone had it there and they cut me a pretty decent deal. I think I got this for $10, 10 or $15. So this is another pickup that I got at the LI Retro Expo. Glad to add this to the collection. Another LI Retro Expo pickup here, Phantasy Star Universe. This was a $10 pickup. Really cool game that I wanted to add in there just to check it out. You know, Phantasy Star is it's a cool little series. Wanted to add that. Here's another game that I've had my eye on for a while. Nothing rare, but cool. Brutal Legend on the Xbox 360. This is another one of those common games that are just fun to have in the collection, and I wanted to add it there. Again, great condition, so added Brutal Legend there. You guys see what's in the background right here, right? So check it out. Part 3, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Not the new age of heroes, but the fate of two worlds, right? So another Marvel versus Capcom entry. Again, thrift store pickup, pretty cheap. Again, complete in box as always. So went ahead and added that to the collection. And I'll show these both at the same time. We've got Fable 2 and Fable 3 on the Xbox 360. These are both complete in box, very good condition. Got them at the thrift store. I've heard a lot about this series. I'm not even showing them well, but here's the Fable 3 And then here you've got Fable 2. I don't have the first Fable in my collection yet. We'll ultimately get that, but I saw these two in really good condition and added them. And then I showed you Grand Theft Auto 5 earlier, but I got Grand Theft Auto 4. And again, another example of just a 9.5 out of 10 copy at the thrift store. When they're this good, it doesn't matter to me if it's a common or not. I'm going to add it just because it's pretty much brand new. And again, comes with all of the inserts and everything there for you. Complete in box, really good condition. Great game. Okay, and then the last of them is going to be, of the commons, is going to be Marvel Ultimate Alliance. But wait, there's more. We also got Forza on the back. Now, I've seen this kind of like combo pack in the past, but usually when I see these, they're thrashed. I mean, just destroyed. The cover art's bad. There's no manual. It's missing a disc. But this was like new, very good, so went ahead and I think this one will be added because I don't have Marvel Ultimate Alliance anymore. I used to have it. I think I sold it or got rid of it, so added that back. So that's where we're at there. Now we're gonna start getting into some of the more higher end games. Okay, so now we're getting into some more of the higher end stuff, and I'll go ahead and dive right into it. So I had some pre-orders come in, and one of those was the Turrican series. So it came with a bonus disc here, so the Turrican soundtrack, but also along with it came Turrican Anthology Volume 1 on the Nintendo Switch. So this is a strictly limited pre-order that finally came in. So Turrican, and then you have Turrican Volume 2. Whoa, get some light on that. So Turrican Volume 2, both of these are on the Switch. Both came out by Strictly Limited, but a really good series to get into if you like run and gun shooters. And those were some pre-orders that came in. Then here's a pickup that I got at the LI Retro Expo. Was really kind of excited to get this. I want to play this and see what it's about. But I got the Angry Video Game Nerd. Yes, I can't say that I've watched a lot of his YouTube videos, but I do know who I have heard of him. And this game, he had a booth there, and it just looked cool, right? Who doesn't want to have their own video game? I would love to have, you know, my own video game, like the Y2K Adventure or something. But anyway, this was cool to get. Saw it there, picked it up. Always love to support a YouTuber or support anyone who's got something going on, so I figured I'd support that. Next up, we have Guanryu. This is an import game, but this is a really cool kind of like action side-scrolling game here that was added. Got some, you see some screenshots there on that, so pretty cool to add that there. This is more like an action side-scrolling type game. Then went ahead and picked up a copy of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 on the Xbox One. This actually came for free. I think I had a friend who was cleaning out and they no longer wanted the game, so I got it for free, and this is a pretty decent game. Had a little bit of value too, so needed a little bit of cleaning though. All right, now getting into some of these here. Picked up a copy of Gravity Rush on the PlayStation 4. For those of you who have ever heard of this game, this is a very interesting game. Graphically, I love it. I love the art style, and I had it on the Vita. Wanted to go ahead and get it on the PS4. Another game that I have on the Vita but wanted to get on the PS4 was Robbie Ribby. Got this brand new for about 30 bucks. Not bad at that. This is a pretty expensive game on the Vita. Not sure how much it is on the PS4, but at 30, couldn't pass it up. And these are all sealed, except for Gravity Rush. Here we have Mitsurugi. I'm not going to try and say the rest of the name of this game. Here, you can read it for yourself, right? So it's Mitsurugi something else, something else, something else. But this is a kind of like a hack and slash type adventure game. I love that. So went ahead and added that on the PS4. And then we have an interesting shooter here. Very interesting type of shooter. Aster Breed. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of this one, but this is also one that was released, I think a limited edition release. Went ahead and added Aster Breed on the PS4. So those are some of the higher end ones. Then just kind of shifting gears, just going to take a look at a handheld that I picked up. Went ahead and got my hands on a very clean all black DSi. I mean, this DSi is super clean. And when I saw it, I just wanted to grab it here. I think I got a game in there. What is this? Pokemon Diamond. Yes, I do have a loose copy of Pokemon Diamond, and I figured I'd check it out. If you follow my channel, you know I don't get any of the Pokemon games, but this I got as a part of like a bundle, and it was like free, so I figured I'd use it to test out handheld consoles. So I did get a DSi. I also did pick up another advanced game. This is Blender Bros. I don't know how many of you know about Blender Bros, but this is a very interesting like action platforming game on the Game Boy Advanced. Pretty cool one to get. The graphics are really nice. I like the way the game looks. All right, and now we're going to kind of shift into some of the other pickups here. So we're going to go Genesis mode for a second. This is a game that I had and I sold, but I got it back, and that is Forgotten Worlds. This is a shmup that I need to have in my collection. I'm a big fan of shoot 'em ups, side-scrolling shoot 'em ups, top-down shoot 'em ups, run-and-gun shoot 'em ups, and this is one that I wanted to get back into the sheepfold. Added Forgotten Worlds back to the collection. And then I have another really sick Long Island Retro Expo pickup here. I saw this game online. I know this was never actually officially released, but Pulseman. So this is not an official Sega release. This is kind of like a homebrew, but this is a very fun game. I tried playing it. Very interesting mechanics and just very cool. So, and again, there was a guy there. He had his own booth. I think he does like homebrews. He's got like a homebrew company. So I went ahead and picked that up. It seems decent enough. Again, I'm always trying to support and went ahead and added that. Played it for a little bit. Pretty fun game. All right, now we have some more. Since we're already on Sega, I guess we might as well stay on Sega. So let me show you this. Lightning Force. Yes, I think they were trying to call this Lightning Force, but it came out Lightning Force. But this is a very fun Sega Genesis shoot 'em up, side-scrolling shooters. This is basically Thunder Force 4. So if you're familiar with the Thunder Force series, you would have thought they would have called Thunder Force 4, but no, they didn't. They called it Lightning Force, and this is a very fun game on the Genesis. Check it out if you like shooters. Some more Sega stuff, right? All of you know that I'm a big Sega Saturn fan, shoot 'em up fan, and I definitely found some classics. So let's get it going. Sonic Wings on the Sega Saturn. This is pretty much Aero Fighters or Aero Fighters 2 on the Super Nintendo. If you've ever played that, this is the Sega Saturn version of that game with some extras. So Sonic Wings I picked up. Really awesome shoot 'em up. Another awesome shoot 'em up that I've had my eye on for some time, Batsugun. So Batsugun is a very fun arcade style top-down shooter. This is one that was added this summer. Super stoked to have this. Next up is a kind of like a racing shoot 'em up type game. This is it's all written in Japanese, but it's really comes out Kingdom Grand Prix. So Kingdom Grand Prix is another very fun arcade style shoot 'em up that I added to the Sega Saturn collection. Really stoked to have that. And then last but not least, I went ahead and added Skullfang. So Skullfang was added to the collection here, and this is one that I've got there. And again, pardon the noise in the background there. That is just the gardener gardening away. All right, and then we've got some more high-end pickups, right? So the pickups don't stop. So let's get into it here. So next up is Futurama on the PS2. So I was really stoked to get this game. I had found the case and manual, which was like 9 out of 10 condition, and all I needed was a disc. Did some searching online and found a loose disc at a decent price and completed it. So now I have a complete copy of Futurama on the PS2. Really fun game. Next up is a Wii game that I had never really heard a lot about, but this looks it's a ton of fun. And this is Pandora's Tower on the Wii. I'm not sure if this came out on any other console, but Pandora's Tower, it's kind of like your hack and slash type game with a really interesting story. So this is one that I wanted to add to the collection. This one's a little bit up there in price. This one is not as pricey, but this is a very fun game. Dragon Ball Revenge of Piccolo. I don't know how many people know about this Wii game, but this is a very fun action game on the Wii, and it reminds me a lot of Dragon Ball Adventure on the Game Boy Advanced, which is pretty much a beat 'em up. Like, it's like a side-scrolling beat 'em up where you can do combos, shoot Kamehamehas. This is a very fun game on the Wii. I think this is a sleeper. I definitely recommend you check this out. Okay, next up, I have this game already, but I wanted it on GameCube. PK Out of the Shadows. This is pretty much, like was it Donald Duck? You're running around. You've got, some powers. It's a Disney-based game. Pretty fun though. Check it out. And then last but not least, this is a really cool thrift store find. I'm glad I found this. I think this was like 10 bucks, 10 or 15. But Dragon Ball Z, the Budokai HD collection. So, and this was also complete in box. These are all complete in box. Whoa, almost dropped it there. Yeah, but these are all complete. Dragon Ball Z, this is one that I saw, wanted to add it. I'm a fan of fighting games. And that kind of gets us through some of the more higher end stuff. Now we're going to get into the pickups of the summer. And these are some amazing grails. Okay, and so the pickups of the summer, or the pickup of the summer award, would have to go to a pickup that I made towards the beginning of August, and that would have been me picking up, and I probably could just zoom out a little bit here so you can see a little better, but that would be the Sega CD, and not this bottle of water right here. No, not that. It's the Sega CD that you're seeing right here. I did go ahead and get my hands on a Sega CD, and no, it is not this empty mug of coffee either. It is the Sega CD, and I was super stoked to get my hands on this. I've always wanted to get a Sega CD in my collection, and there's not a lot of games on the Sega CD that I'm into, but I was able to get my hands on the ones that I really was interested in, and I'm going to take you through them now. So the first game that I got on the Sega CD was Echo Tides of Time. Got this because of the graphics. I think it's a very pretty game to look at, and also the music. The music in this game is very relaxing, and I do really like cool, calm, collected, relaxing games. And this was a very cool one to get on the Sega CD, and inexpensive at that. So did get Echo Tides of Time. Then also, I'm a shoot 'em up fan, and the Sega CD is good for that. So went ahead and got my hands on a copy of Sylphied. This is a classic shoot 'em up. Just playing this game reeks of nostalgia, just the graphical style of it, and just, you know, just how it looks and the music and everything. Just a blast from the past, and this is one that I was glad to add to the collection. So got Sylphied there. And then also another really cool one. You can get this on the Genesis, but it's not the same. This is the Amazing Spider-Man versus Kingpin. This is a very cool game in the sense that, one, again, the music and the sound is way better on the Sega CD, and then this has levels that you don't get when you play the Sega Genesis version. So this is a very cool pickup that I was glad I was able to add along with the Sega CD that I picked up. Then next, just continuing down that line, you all know that I love my shoot 'em ups, and I'm not going to own a Sega CD without owning Android Assault, Revenge of Bariarm. So this is a very interesting shoot 'em up, and the moment I saw the shoot 'em up, I knew I needed to have it because I have Hyperduel on the Sega Saturn, and the thing I love about Hyperduel is that you can go from like a spaceship to like a mech, you know, like this mech warrior, and that just changes your gun, your guns, your ammo, and how powerful you are. And in Android Assault, the more power-ups you get, like after you get a certain number of power-ups, you just transform into like this, you know, mech assault warrior. And but if you get hit, then you transform back into a plane. So you don't have as much control as you do in Hyperduel, but the color, like the graphics, like the 2D graphics are beautiful. The sprites are amazing, lots of color, amazing music, just really good time playing these games. So this is one that I'm glad to pick up. Then also another gem that I added here was the Terminator. Sorry, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know I did a horrible impression of you, but picked up the Terminator. This was a really cool one to get too. Y'all know that I love my run and gun shooters. Graphics were great. The sound was great. And I don't know if this came out on any other system. I don't know if it ever will, just because it's like the Terminator, but we'll see. But this was a really great one to pick up, and added it to the collection as well. And then last but not least, I went ahead and got Robo Alesti. Now, if anyone know, or Alest, Robo Alest, if anyone knows this game, this is pretty much part 2 of Musha, and Musha is one of the probably the most expensive shoot 'em up for the Sega Genesis. And this is basically part 2 of that. So same principle, top-down shooter. You know, you get your power-ups, you get your weapons, and you just blast your way through 7 or 8 stages until you get to the final boss, and then you beat the game. But I love these types of games. They're challenging, they're classic. They just fill me with so much nostalgia, even everything from the cover art to the gameplay to the music. I just love these types of games. And that does it for this summer recap of pickups. I mean, I did have more games that I picked up that I didn't want to show because in this video it would be like an hour long. Tons of like pre-orders that came in over the summer, special editions, limited run stuff, strictly limited stuff. But I really just wanted to show you a good mix of what I got, because it's not always classics. You know, you're not always running out there and finding a bunch of like holy grails and stuff. There are a ton of common games out there that you can pick up that are super cheap, and I just, you know, I want to mix up my collection. I want it to be a little bit of everything, and I want to just have good games in there, whether they're rare or not. But unfortunately, sometimes some of the best games are the most rare, and sometimes some of the most expensive. But let me know what you've picked up this summer. Let me know how summer 2022 treated you when it comes to your collection. Had a ton of fun, had a blast. Glad to go ahead and have these added to the collection. And I'm back. I'm excited for the fall. We're getting to the point where now it's time to kind of stay inside more. I know it's still August, but that cool weather's coming in. And now it's time to start breaking out the jackets, the pajamas, and it's time to cozy up with some of your favorite consoles. I think the yard sale season's coming to a close as well. So let me know what your plans are and let me know what you've got going on. Again, I am the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.